So we're gonna be finishing up the Ryo League from yesterday. We're just 1-0 right now, but I want to give this deck a little bit more attention. It's pretty fun. This deck was very, very good at flipping a Ryo really fast. The combination of Boomerang Basics, 12 0-mana artifacts, some Preordains for some consistency. Really good at flipping this into a Ryo, Ryo's Essence. Because whenever our opponent casts the first spell each turn, counter that spell. We even had like some turn threes where we would play a Ryo and Canonist on the same turn and just like totally lock your opponent out. This is the total lock piece. Each player who's cast a non-artifact spell this turn can't cast additional non-artifact spells. Now, it's possible High Noon is better. I'm not 100% sure. Um, where you you only ever play it after you flip a Ryo. But Canonist is it's just a card that you can play a bit more proactively. It doesn't affect you too much because most of your cards are artifacts. So a little bit unsure on Canonist versus High Noon, but I think I'm sticking with Canonist for now. It also just has some artifact synergies, right, with Kappa Cannoneer, Mox Opal, stuff like that. Um, you don't get that many percentage points with Force of Vigor. And then Force of Vigor is also good against Titan, but I'm really interested in playing Ashiok, which is a better card against Titan, especially because this set can cast at turn 2, and you also have Thought Seizes for Titan as well. Maybe the one at Chomp. I guess you also get the Chomping Changeling. It's like, and then like Endurance is like really good against like exactly like Living End and Gorios, which are just they're not a huge percentage of the field. Living End's going to be like a really tough, Endurance isn't even really good against Living End because when they wrath your board, it's just too devastating to like really recover from, anyways. Um, in fact, maybe we should be playing the elf that says your opponents can't make you sacrifice permanents for Living End. It's green settable 2-drop. This is not a flip Tamiyo turn 1. It would only be flip Tamiyo turn 1 if we drew another Boomerang Basics. There's a frog. And there's an emissary. Not a single risk. Yeah, that card sucks. Maybe it'll go in the if the other Badger Mold deck we're talking about gets a bit more mid rangey, potentially we could play it, but that card has continued to be not that good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could attack with the Tamiyo and we could flip Tamiyo, or we could just cast Kappa Cannoneer. I think I'll just cast Kappa Cannoneer. Did I see this? Oh, they don't block. I guess they mulligan really low. I just noticed. Oh yeah, I did see this card. Strixhaven looks so sick. This card. Let me cast this Kappa Cannoneer. Okay, so this is. I guess I probably should have got Stevens there. Petrified Hamlet. When this land enters, you choose a land card name, and activated abilities of the land can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. But they also turn the lands into tapping for colorless. So this doesn't just lock off fetch lands entirely because it still lets them cast tap for colorless. One thing that's super cool with this card is with Obsidian Charmal, if you play Petrified Hamlet, all of a sudden you're reducing your your Charmal cost. So you could main deck this, and you could also and maybe if you main deck 4 of these, you could main deck 4 Charmals. Also you could fetch in. Oh yeah, it's a trigger, so that's true. You can fetch a response. This card also shuts off Shifting Woodland, Beseiju, Odavora, Teleria West, Urza Saga. So a pretty good amount of utility there. I think card's sick. I think the card's sick. It is a colorless utility land itself, and there are roughly infinity colorless utility lands that you can play in Modern. Okay, Test of Talent's very good against Gorios. There's roughly infinity infinity of these you can play. I think I might cut the Canonists, or I think I'm gonna trim one. It's a card that you just one Erayo by itself is really strong. I don't think you need to lean too hard in on it. I think I might also cut the Kappa Cannoneers, go a little bit down on win conditions against them. Seems fine. Is it better or worse? Is it better or worse than other land answers to Shifting Woodlands? Well, I mean, a land that enters on taps and taps for colorless is pretty dang good. Is it's kind of it's nice because it's kind of incidental when you compare it to a spell, which is like a very intentional thing. I think I'm gonna keep this. I was chewing on Birthing Ritual with Troll King. Feasting Troll King? Guess that's the only Troll King. For repeatable cheating being stuff, do you ever bark up the tree? Yes, and you can of course always check if I've barked up the tree by going to moxfield.com/user/aspiring-spike. Although I guess with Troll King, maybe we never did it with Birthing Ritual. We did it with Nature's Rhythm. It's kind of similar. Oh baby, we drew the Mox Amber. Perfect draw. Hopefully we dodge the Solitude here. Seems like they likely don't have it at this point. So the first spell they play each turn is going to get countered now. Yeah, Arena of Glory is a mana ability, so I don't think it would be affected. So very cool. Personally, I'm excited like naming Sacred Foundry against Boros and just having maybe 2 mana Charmals I could ephemerate, or name Steam Vents against Prowess. It just seems like with this card you could just make your Charmals cost 2 or 3 mana pretty consistently, which I think is interesting. Like this card is almost an Eldrazi temple for exactly Obsidian Charmal. Which is, I don't know, I think it's so cool. Why didn't we Boomerang Frog and cast Mox Opal to flip? I guess we should have done that. We're kind of low on action, so cantripping is kind of nice, but you're right, probably just should have done that. Cool but narrow. Cool but narrow. I mean, I guess narrow, sure. There's one thing. Yeah, just stop a Seiju channel. Maybe we'll be big for our... Oh, the Graveyard of Atraxas. Kind of scary. Maybe I should play the Opal so I could make them discard one more. I don't know that I'm blocking. Shredder K commit 5-0. Nice. We also 5-0'd. Ooh, Speaker's interesting. I'm not a big Speaker fan in general. I think it's good in some decks. Maybe it's good in that one because you have Temple. Or better in that one because you have Temple. Turns on Break the Ice for any land. That's true. Kind of combos with Break the Ice. So you could maybe... Although if you're playing Break the Ice and Trumel, and it's kind of hard to play like this land because of the fact that it's a Rakdos land. You know what I mean? I just realized on the second day... Oh, yeah, this is not symmetrical. It's just opponents. So they Fatal Push their Frog. It gets countered. We'll see if they just have the Gorios here before we can get the Graveyard Hate. Yeah, okay. Let's go to game 3. How do you think this card compares to Expressive Ritual? So Flow State, 1 blue, 1 colorless. If you look at the top 3, 1 in hand, rest on the bottom, and if you have an instant and a sorcery in the graveyard, you just get to do both. I saw this and I was pretty excited because I thought it was instant or sorcery, not instant and sorcery. So that was a pretty big nerf to the card. Getting an instant and a sorcery in the graveyard by turn 2 is, not possible without Channeler, and even then pretty unlikely. So this isn't going to be just like a turn 2 expressive iteration. That being said, there's a lot to like about it over expressive iteration. It's like in combination with Channeler, it just like it's going to be online on turn 3 really often, and like Prowess. And Prowess, I think it's going to be like as good a turn 3 play as iteration is most of the time, and as good a turn 2 play. You maybe get to play both. Guess I'm going to lead on... This is a weird hand. I'm going to Surveil. I think I'm just going to Surveil and pass. I think I do want to just cycle the Boomerang Basics here, because if my Emry dies, I'm going to be maybe a little light on action. Maybe it'd be fine to just wait a turn. I did draw a Test of Talents, although I can't hold it up this turn because I have to Legend Rule the Opals. What about in looting deck? Should be true. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some synergy there. Although, like, I don't think that you're very excited to go looting on turn 1 to... I'm going to go down a card so I can go on turn 1 so I can go up a card on turn 2. I don't think that that's that important. This card being online on turn 2 is also not that important either. This card is good. That Strixhaven is full of like super cool, super well designed, super interesting modern cards. I'm really hyped. So our Emry lives, which is huge. Good draw. Good draw. So I can flip around. I think we should target the Amber first so that we have Test of Talents up. Erayo is so easy to flip. it's like it's almost not a matter of if you can flip Erayo. You just draw it. You're like, great, I drew Erayo. Erayo's really good. I can flip it. So I am really interested in like continuing to explore this shell because it just does seem so consistent. Yeah, the PowerPoint's gonna take forever. All right, then there's the Canonist for the hard lock. Let's go and see if this resolves. I guess we could fight over it too. Yeah, but they no longer can resolve spells. All right. All right, this hand needs a 0 or a 1 mana spell to flip Erayo on turn 2. Do I want to play Saga turn 1 also is an interesting question. I think we're probably playing against sorry, not Affinity. Belcher. I don't think I'm main decking the Needle. Sink, Bloodstained Mire, Preordain, Watery Grave. Psychic Frog. Okay, well, back-to-back Psychic Frog opponents. All right, this will let me flip the Erayo. Well, I guess I should have played the Amber first, just in case they have like a Solitude, although looking at this mana doesn't seem very likely. Oh, wait, I think I keep miscounting. Yeah, I guess I should just know Amber Boomerang Basics is just that by itself is enough, huh? I think I'm gonna hold the Bauble for the Emissary next turn. I can go 1, 2, 3. Then I can Kappa. Yeah. So maybe again I should have bounced the frog. Sorry about that. Listen, I just gotta draw the card. I don't think I count casting the Erayo. I'm definitely not counting something. Alright, so again they throw a Fatal Push away. So they can resolve something this turn. They discard Spell Snare. Then they discard. So they're gonna cast a Riddler here. We have a Needle in the sideboard for Frog. I'm gonna discard one more card, draw 2 more. Why did you not tap the Mox while Erayo is a creature? I replayed the Mox off the Boomerang Basics, which flipped the Erayo, so it was I believe it was still on the stack when I cast the Mox again. The first time I tapped the Amber for mana, I tapped it for Boomerang Basics. You could have played. Yeah, wait, what am I missing? So I went Erayo, Mox, Basics, Amber, and then it flipped on the cast of the Amber, and there was not a window to tap the Amber for mana again, right? Am I missing something? You needed to bounce the Amber? Yeah. Guess the frog is bigger than my Kappa. Not gonna jump block, I guess. Should be fine. We do have an Aether Spellbomb. Talk about the new Broken Land, Petrified Village. I don't know if it's broken, but I'm really excited for it with Charmaw and maybe Break the Ice. They have 3 cards in their hand. We draw Boomerang Basics. I think I'm not making a Saga token. And they concede to the Aether Spellbomb. Erayo has been so good. It just flips like immediately every time, which think we need to be taking a closer look at it. So I should have paid a little bit closer. I'm gonna go back to see what they discarded. They discarded Ragavan. I think they're the Grixis Reanimator deck. Although they're also playing Snare and Cling, so maybe they're like Grixis Control or like Grixis Frog. Or maybe, I guess they're blue-black Frog that's splashing like Meltdown. Yeah, I guess that's so. They're probably not playing Reanimator stuff. So I mean, we're not gonna do any big sideboarding here. We could maybe do Pithing Needle for Frog. We also have Aether Spellbomb. We could do maybe Needle and Lantern, or like just cut the Lantern so we could play Needle. Needle also hits Kaito and Flip Tamiyo, though I guess I don't want to name Flip Tamiyo. I remember I had Erayo in my Commander deck. If there was a time it was banned as Commander and legal for in the deck use, and then they banned it. And I was like, no. The card was so good. Reluctant Keep. I think it's fine on the draw. I think I'm gonna play Aether Spellbomb and not cycle the basics turn 1. Could maybe board out some Pinnacle Emissaries if they have fire magic. Like the card's not that important for our game plan. So let's go ahead and cycle the Boomerang here. We might draw a like Mox Amber, Mishra's Bauble, and just be able to play a Kappa Cannoneer. Is there much reason to play this? I play this Mox Opal first. I don't really think so. Might get disputed or countered, and that might just lead the way for Cannoneer next turn. So I don't want to sack the Bauble because I want to be able to cast the Kappa. 105 stream streak. Let's go, Dunk. They surveil and response. Graveyard's a Riddler. And they evoke a Subtlety. I think I'm fine to keep this on top. The good news about this is they probably don't have Dispute or Counterspell in their hands, and those are like two of the best things they could have. So they'll need another Subtlety to stop old Kappa Cannoneer. The Kamigawa flip mechanic, like on Erayo, never saw any new printing. Is that correct? Only potential reprints. Yeah, I can't. As far as I know, none of these were ever printed after Kamigawa. I remember when I was first getting into Magic, I got like a box of like random junk, and there was like one card. I think it was Student of Flight, and I thought that card was so cool. That card it was definitely like an early Magic card that kind of captured my imagination some. A Meltdown? Okay, Frog. Yeah, they do feel kind of elegant, don't they? So I don't really have any. I didn't bring in the Test of Talents. I don't really have any instant speed stuff I can draw, so I'm going to wait on the Bauble Crack. Yeah, interesting that they wouldn't fly the Frog here, because now the Aether Spellbomb is like pretty awkward for them. They have to discard a card, and they're just going to get their Frog bounced. All right, not encountering a lot of resistance here. We're 3-0. The record tracker is wrong because we started the stream mid-league. We played this one in between rounds of the challenge yesterday. I think I'm going to keep this. We have Erayo and Mox Amber, which is really good. And we've got double Saga as well. Although we are on the draw. If we draw a Boomerang Basics, we can flip Erayo. There's a Thoughtseize here against my very land-light hand, although we have Saga against a Thoughtseize deck, so 2 Sagas against a Thoughtseize deck. Pretty weird. It's a late pump spot. Yeah, I don't know. You just would never play it. You would never play it in Modern. It is something, though. Wait, hold on. Does it? Oh, it's X+1 toughness. So you can't just for a second I thought it was just kill a creature for a blue mana. which would be like just a mistake to print, but they made it through. So they take the Amber. We draw an April. Happy April, everybody. Last I heard your take on Erayo, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Now the deck's not only getting played, but revisited. Is it maybe actually good? Well, it was testing well yesterday, and we're continuing the league from yesterday. We're 3-0 in this league right now. I think that Boomerang Basics is a big part of me liking Erayo a lot. And also, one thing I remember too, maybe the last time we were working on Erayo, the ring was pretty popular. Maybe the last time we were playing Erayo, Charlotte's Agent was more popular. Charlotte's Agent, I remember just being so bad against Erayo. We also haven't played against much Boros or Prowess, which are two decks I'm a little bit nervous for. Yeah, we'll just play the Erayo here. But it's been testing very well. I have been liking it a lot, and it has exceeded expectations, and it's exceeded my memories with the card, yes. Castle Lucktwain. So we're playing against the Rack? Yeah, we're 3-0 playing against the Rack. Maybe everything's going to be okay, huh? I can't remember exactly why I won. I think maybe part of this was like I've been mentioning this. I'm on a little bit of a mission, like an express mission to try to play a lot of cards that I have thought are bad, or try to get some older cards back into my back into the rotation a little bit. Try to make sure that I'm understanding them and understanding how they fit into stuff. And now is like weirdly it ended up becoming a very good time to do that, because Strixhaven seems like it's going to really reward maybe some of the older stuff, some of the weirder stuff too. And so trying to get some of these cards back in the rotation is good. So like Shackle's an example, Enigma Jewel's an example, Erayo is an example of that. I'm gonna grab the Aether Spellbomb. Kind of have to play the Bauble, although I'm a little bit concerned that they'll kill my Erayo. Although I guess if they kill Erayo, we're still winning this game pretty easily, because Rat can't beat an Urza Saga. Did I see this guy? All right, so this is... The name right now is just the mana cost. So Trample Reach enters the battlefield with a counter on it for each different color of mana spent to cast it. So if you just spin green, it's 2, or it's a 1/1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with additional X counters, where X is equal to the number of different colors spent to cast it. So it just gives all of your creatures converge. Doesn't seem very good. Okay, so we're on the draw for game 3 or game 2 against the Rack. Am I gonna really bring in Pithing Needle for Liliana of the Veil? I don't think so. Don't think I'm gonna bring in Test of Talents either. Could see the Kappa Cannoneers being a little bit hard to cast against them. Probably Necro rather than the Rack. So it was maybe you're right. For some reason, Castle Lucktwain and Inquisition makes me think that if it's Necro, I guess I want the Vexing Bauble. Well, I guess a little late. We didn't see Necro, and I'm just totally blanking, did we? Can keep this. No turn 1 discard spell this time. I have 2 Tamiyos, and I only have 1 Emry. Trying to think how often I want to play the Bauble here. I think not that often. Do you ever board out Erayo here? I think Erayo seems insane against whatever this is, so no. The MDCs are a huge tell for Necro. I mean, I feel like I would play Boggart Trawler a lot of time in these kind of decks, but maybe not. All right, so we get to play April on turn 2 and draw 2 cards, flip the Tamiyo end of turn. Just 1 April in this build. Still do like this card a lot. Can be more in on it if you want, less in on it. Think the card is mostly just good in blue Eldrazi builds and the bunch of Mox and Affinity builds. They can't kill the Tamiyo. They probably can't kill the April. Bowmaster would be bad for me. Although I'll say we just some days my opponent just has everything. Today my opponents have had like nothing. Right, they got a Boggart Trawler over there. Do you think Necro's more likely the way they've just done nothing this game? They're probably gonna have to play Necro now. April has 5 toughness. They break the ice the Saga. That's totally fine. Let's go. Draw another card. Playing the other Tamiyo, I guess, doesn't do anything since it'll just flip again. We built a Erayo and a Canonist. Playing Canonist is probably pretty good if this is Necro. Two more cards. Can maybe minus on the Preordain next turn. Can suck a clue end of turn. You playing some Paper Modern this season? I did a couple weeks ago. I'll try to make it out to an RCQ or two. My current schedule's pretty packed. Pretty packed. Okay, I'm 4-0. The record tracker is wrong because we started the stream mid-league. We were finishing up the 1-0 league from yesterday. We're 40 minutes in and we just have easily won all 3 matches. Nice start so far. So we're on the play for the trophy match. I'm definitely going to keep this hand. Sequencing is a little weird. So, like, I guess I can go Surveil and to go Saga. Yeah, the problem is, like, I think I have to play the Lantern on turn 1. I think I'm going to get, I guess I'm going to get Steambits with the Emissary in hand. What about Ledger Shredder? What about Ledger Shredder? What about Ledger Shredder? I don't know. Maybe it'd be better than I think. I was looking at playing Fleshraker K Command, but I don't think it works in this build. Can you go in more depth on the anti-synergy between Canonist and Cannoneer as they seem to refer to different cannons? Yeah, we talked a lot about Petrified Hamlet. That card is really cool. I'm mostly excited to play that card with Obsidian Charmal. I think that is sounds like a really fun application. Okay, so should we just go for the flip here? My opponent has Arid Mesa up. I think I'm going to try to bait a removal spell just by going like 2 mana Emry here. And then maybe they tap out and then maybe we get to flip the Erayo next turn. Removal spell baited. Yeah, I've been liking April. I think the card's been pretty good. Okay, so they have a main deck Phantom. I don't know if this means they're... I mean, they're not normal stock Boros, so we'll see. We'll try to see what's going on. We did mill our other island. Thankfully, we didn't mill both of them. That would have been a hilarious... hilarious and sad way to lose. But now we're good to go. Warp an Emissary. Cast Erayo. They're not F6'd. I guess I should have probably cast the Mox Amber next to bait Solitude. Maybe they would have Solituded the Emissary instead. Didn't really think about it till just now. Kind of seems like they have it, unfortunately. Not like the end of the world. We still get a bunch of drone tokens, and we get 2 cards out of their hand here. But yeah, maybe I just could have baited the Solitude on the Emissary. So this is... I guess it's going to be not quite enough to quadruple block the Phantom. Not that that's like a super big priority. They're probably not even attacking with the Phantom. I think I might as well sack here, though. Okay, not a bad draw. I was thinking about this yesterday. I didn't see you try it yet. Have you tried Goblin Engineer? Goblin Engineer fetches both Cauldron Ballista. Have you considered this? Yeah. I don't... It's gonna be... I have like... There's a mono red card that combos with Cauldron Ballista. And And we have a okay, well, milling one of my basics may be pretty tough this game. We had a deck that was really built around that with like we've had a few like there's also like the 3 mana goblin that whenever you sack an artifact you make a red that combos with that one Kaldesh card. It's yes, we've barked down that tree. I don't think I want the Canonist right now. Kind of looking for Kappa Cannoneer more than anything. Another Erayo is interesting. If so, this is enough mana to play Erayo and Emissary. So I guess if I draw Boomerang Basics or a 0-drop next turn, we can flip Erayo or try to flip Erayo. Although my opponent's probably going to kill another land here. I was thinking spread splash for Leo combo. I mean, you could. Oh, they have Wrath. Oh no, it's all falling apart. One thing again with Leo that maybe this is something I need to say all the time, but I'm like pretty uninterested in playing Leo in a deck without Guide and Pride. Like with Guide and Pride, Leo is like a gigantic threat, and without it, it kind of doesn't do a lot. I think we'll pack it in there. Don't think we can beat that Flage. So I want the Test of Talents against the Wraths, and you could also hit like Wildfires and stuff in a pinch. It does seem like the full lock is very good against them. Don't think we want the Aether Spellbomb too bad. Do think I like the Emissary Kappa Cannoneer stuff. Maybe just go down to Preordains. Have I thought about Leo with Starfield Ranger Captain for a mostly mono white build over the Overlords? Well, we've done Celestia, which did well, and we've done now this Orzhov build. If you're gonna play Ranger Captain and Starfield Shepherd, why would you not also play Birthing Ritual? You know, why would you not splash? I don't think there's a particularly good reason to not splash. So definitely gonna be fetch shocking every single time we fetch here. But I'm going to just run an Erayo. Maybe it gets removal spell, but we just have 2. It doesn't seem like there's like basically any payoffs to being monocolored, and the splash is really free because you want to play a lot of fetches for Grange anyways. So if they tap out for like a Phantom or a Wildfire, we need to draw a 0 or a Boomerang Basics, but if we do, we can full lock on turn 3. Could this deck play Selfless Spirit to help against Wrath? We play Test of Talents instead. Test of Talents exiles all the Wraths, and okay, we did draw the Boomerang Basics. Opponent can have Solitude. I'm going to play the Mox first, I think. Although it seems like they're F6, thankfully. Also, if you full lock, then yeah, don't. Oh, sorry. I guess I forgot that this was gonna. Yeah, with the Boomerang Basics, there wasn't. I don't think there was a way to play the Spirit also, because we have to bounce this. And this flips before it comes back down. Should be okay though. Should be okay. If my opponent can go like 1-drop into Erayo into Wrath, paying the energy, good for them. But so they play the Sacred Foundry untapped, like they're gonna do something. Then they pass the turn. I guess I Emry first so I can tap the Amber. 1-drop to Raven Charm. Yeah, maybe. Although I guess maybe playing the Emry is really bad because they can now go Discharge plus. Oh, damn it. Yeah, they can now go like Discharge plus the Raven Charm. Although I don't know that they play with Raven Charm. Well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I think I've just kind of found the losing line here. They discharge again. Do they have Wear Tear? Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, but yeah, turning on discharge there just was, I think it was just a big mistake. Now we should be good. They need to play like the Ganjo Castle and I have to attack into it. Or I guess they could have like an artifact and resolve a spell. Okay. So we're going to game 3. So I guess they have no artifacts in their deck. All right. Game 3, this is for the trophy. The record tracker's wrong. Very close to a busted hand. This was a Mishra's Bauble. They're also in a mulligan to 6. Docs, their 6, game 3 for the trophy. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped. They keep their 6. I think I have to put back the Kappa. Not in love with this hand, but at least they're on a mulligan. Kind of hoping we draw Urza Saga and we can bait an early Wrath Disguise. They pass the turn after playing basic planes. We draw Erayo. So I guess we're going to be not playing the Bauble here turn 1. Also going fetch land pass is good if they just have like Phantom or Wildfire here. They just can't deploy those. In fact, maybe we could just wait one more turn. Although getting them to tap out is maybe good. They're missing their land drop. Okay, I'm going to wait again. Okay, I'm going to... Now I'll play the Tamiyo out since they don't have any red mana anyways, and I kind of want them to remove this. And I'm also pretty interested in them tapping out for Phantom. If they do that, I'll be probably pretty happy. Well, I'll let you know how my happiness index is. They do find land number 3. They do play Phantom. I'm a little bit worried about Ephemerate. Don't know how, if I should be necessarily. I guess I could Test of Talents Ephemerate. Don't know that I will want to. But I also want to surveil into like a Mox, hopefully. Perfect. So I can go a Mox, Erayo, Bauble. But then I have to tap out to try to flip the Erayo. Let me go ahead and attack and get my clue. Any clue havers in the chat? I think if they were going to Ephemerate, they already would have. So I'm going to bait the Solitude here. Does not super seem like they have it. All right, well, we have a flipped Erayo in game 3 of our trophy match. And then there's a Wrath Disguise on the top of their deck. So maybe they just want to go like Solitude Wrath this turn. Although I guess they don't have the 4th land. Nice hand hider. Wait, you're actually playing Erayo? Not only are we actually playing Erayo, we're playing... This is game 3 of our trophy match with Erayo. All right, so let me Pinnacle Emissary into Mox Opal. Maybe I guess I should have tapped the Amber. But now we've got Test of Talents available. Don't think it's quite time to be getting in with the drone tokens. Erayo has been huge. No red mana. GG. GG. Trophy? Okay, let's go. Trophy. So I guess we're going to keep playing this before we get over to Badger Cub. Let me pay out the prediction. Pretty cool. I think I'm interested in maybe trying a different build as well. Not that this was bad. But the emissaries were fine. They're